Hey guys, this is Sixth. Gonna give you game 3 of the semi-finals brackets B. Dogsi number 5 action coming at you with the blue Protoss Procobo facing off once against InfiRenenant, the yellow Zerg, and they have spawned cross-positionally in a vertical orientation. So Revenant is gonna be able to get up that natural expansion very quickly. In the last few games we've been seeing Revenant go for like a triple hatch play with 2 inside his main and 1 inside his natural. And in the last game we saw Procobo go for, I think it was Void Rays, but I can't be too sure. Either way, the series is tied up at 1 apiece, and yeah. So I have been trying out some things in Sony Vegas, which I mentioned in my last video, and it turns out game 2, when I rendered it, came out at 1.8 gigs, so it is currently taking me 12 hours to upload that to YouTube. So I may re-render that, and it may not be in 1080p or anything like that. I'm still playing around with my Fraps frame rates, so this game might be a little bit shaky, but you know, it is a process, and hopefully I will be able to get some higher quality videos going as Procobo forgets to build a probe there. Not too big of a deal, but Revenant has scouted this close air position and is currently sending his Overlord to check the cross positions. Gonna settle that Overlord hopefully here on the high ground, and yeah, really weird that he doesn't send a drone to the close land positions. I feel hatchery going down on 16 or 15, and there we go. We do have a scouting drone, so I'm not crazy. Looks like he's going to be patrolling the drone between these two areas. Normally you want to patrol the drone at the bottom of your ramp just to stop that double pylon photon cannon sort of lockout. It does prevent any drones and Zerglings from sort of getting to support the natural expansion if that cannon does indeed get up. It's very hard to stop. In most cases you're going to have to cancel that hatchery and either move a Spineclaw to the edge of your base here on the high ground so it can poke at those pylons, or you're going to have to mass some Zerglings and Banelings if you do wish to do so. And we do have the Cybernetics core going down for Procobo, Simulator on the way, and yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary going on here. However, that second geyser does feel a little bit early, and Protoss units are very gas intensive, so yeah, I wonder what Procobo's going to be doing this game. As the last few games, you know, he's really mixed it up. He's mixed up techs, and yeah, he's quite unpredictable. If you've watched some of his other games from the tournament, I do believe he won the award for most creative play with a Colossus drop, and maybe I'll cast that game later another time after I finish off the tournament. And yeah, Double Queen coming out now, gonna be starting to inject larva, connect the 2 bases with creep, just to increase the mobility of all of his Zerg units and increase the home turf advantage as I stumble over words. And yeah, this scouting drone is still inside the base, not gonna be able to gas steal. However, he does spot 2 geysers up, not too out of the ordinary for Protoss. And the Stalker is going to shut down this drone as my FPS takes a hit. Robotics facility going down. Not sure if Revenant spotted that. If we check his vision, he does not spot that. So good for Procobo. Wondering if he's going to be getting out a fast observer, maybe taking to Colossus very, very quickly, or just going with Gateway Immortals. Immortals, such an underused unit, I feel, but very, very effective with those hardened shields. And combined with Guardian Shield, it actually adds to the hardened shield effect, taking only 8 damage per hit. Warp Gates is about halfway, no chrono boost on that, saving up energy, so maybe we are going to see a rush for some sort of tech. Spinecrawler going down at the natural, going to protect this ramp and about half the drones, most of the drones, with that radius. So some good positioning there, saving up a bit of larva. 5 on this one. And another 3 on this one. Metabolic boost has gone down. Revenant not a fan of getting metabolic boost in the early stages. Warp Prism has started. I love Warp Prisms. And Robotics Bay going down as well. So maybe we are going to see a Colossus drop in this game as well as that other game I mentioned. And Warp Gapes has almost finished, so when he drops the Colossus, he should be able to warp in some units very, very quickly. If you've watched some Whiterun games, you will know that in one game he did a Warp Prism 4-gate. So he actually gets to the robotics facility, forces out 3 more gates, and stops building from the robotics totally, and then just goes into the back of the main of his opponent and warps in a whole bunch of units there. Are we going to see extended thermal lance and chrono boosting before beginning his Colossus? There we go. Colossus going down. Warp Prism speed going down. So no thermal lance going down. We're going to have warp speed, I guess, at this early stages. You know, range may not be as important, although, you know, range is very, very, very handy to have. I'm a bit speechless here. Overlord coming in doing some scouting. He's going to see the chrono boost being used on all these structures. However, there's no way of guessing that Procobo is going for Warp Prism speed instead of Thermal Lance. Thermal Lance being stacked onto the end of that, as an observer was lagging and leaves the game, which may sort of explain my FPS issues. So this Warp Prism is being loaded up as we focus on it with a Colossus. Colossus Lance not going to be done by the time he gets there, but you know, a good Overlord positioning. If you look at the minimap from Revenant, he's going to see this drop coming in one way or another, and it doesn't look like Procobo cares too much as he does fly on top of that creep. Queen going to be here trying to defend, dropping the Colossus off, going to take on the Queen. Queen stands no chance one-on-one to a Colossus. Being picked up once again, that Warp Prism speed really coming in handy. I can see the additional maneuverability is just so good. Colossus once again gonna try and pick up this Queen. Zergling's being rallied back to the main, and yeah, I'm really speechless as to say. Looks like these Zerglings are going to force this Colossus into a corner. Is it going to get picked up in time? It does get picked up in time. Going to be dropped off onto the high ground above the natural expansion. Terran normally are famous for abusing this high ground, but today it will be the Protoss able to lift up onto the high ground and take out this extractor. At least Revenant showing his displeasure. And the advantage of putting a Colossus up here is that it can go up and down the cliff at will. Going to be able to pick up these spines, hopefully, before they burrow in. No, he chooses to kill some probes as they were very close, and that smash damage does affect them. Overseer coming in, trying to give sight for the Queens. The Queen does go down, and there's really nothing Revenant can do. This Colossus outrages the spine crawls. It can take down the Queen so quickly. And Procobo could actually just wait for the shields to come back. Queen's being rallied here. He really needs to pick up this Colossus and bring it over. Just out of range of those Queens. Overseer will be giving sight. Oh, this is so close. It looks like the Colossus is going to go down. Yes, it does. He really should have picked that up in the Warp Prism, cut his losses, and taken it back to base to join his main army. However, I do think that his macro probably slipped during that, as that was a very micro-intensive strategy. Going to be walling up here with some cannons as he did get that forge up before the drop. Another Colossus here just to defend, and we have more Colossi rallying. If we poke back to Revenant's base after that abuse, he does have his lair up, and he does have a Roach Warren up with Glial Reconstitution, which is that Roach speed upgrade. If we go to the units tab, however, we have 48 drones to 43 probes. So, you know, like, neither player is too far behind. However, Revenant is double expanding to the left-hand side, and he's going to seize map control with those 7 Mutalisks that are out now. Flyer attacks going down as well. Another Colossus drop coming in for Procobo. Does he see these 2 expansions? If we pop over to his vision, no, he does not see those expansions. Looks like he's going to be looking to abuse that high ground once again. However, with these Mutalisks, they're going to have none of it. But with the speed upgrade, are they actually? Is he actually able to outrun the Mutalisks? And I cannot actually see the speed of the Warp Prism, but it doesn't look like it is quite fast enough. The Warp Prism does go down. Colossus desperately trying to do some sort of damage in order to justify its life and price. Mutalisks coming in now. Gonna see if they can poke into the main. 2 cannons being built, and these stalkers are able to ward away the stalkers. If we look at the main, we do have 2 more war gates going up, and some more cannons. And it looks like this hatchery is done, another hatchery is done.